season, so not that one. There we go. So, as usual, we are using playoffpredictors.com, and we're going to start with the AFC, then predict the interconference games, and finish with the NFC. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Jaguars versus the Bills. I'm also going to write these down on my little pad here, just so I can keep this for when I'm doing the video next week. Jaguars versus Bills. Now, this is technically a Bills home game, but you'll notice this is a London game. So the Jaguars, they played in London last week. They won last week, and they stayed there, but the Bills have to travel. So even though I think the Bills are the better team, and you know, some of the odds, I think a lot of the odds have the Bills winning this game. I actually could see the Jaguars pulling off an upset here. So I'm going to write that down, Jags. I could see the Jaguars pulling off an upset here just because I thought they looked good last week. They looked good early. Second half, they kind of took their foot off the pedal a little bit, but that's a lot of travel for the Bills to do. Jaguars don't do any travel. They're already there. They're well rested. I think they could get the upset win here. Titans versus the Colts. Now, the Colts looked very competitive last week, and the Titans absolutely dismantled the Bengals. I have a hard time not picking the Titans here in that matchup. I think the Colts have one of the better head coaches in the league, but they're still a young team. I could see them getting a victory here, but my gut says Titans here. Although, like I said, the Colts looked really good week 4. They kept that game really close. Ravens versus Steelers. Now the Steelers are actually the underdogs here. Ravens had a really good win last week. Sorry, it's super windy out right now. What is the line on this game? I just want to see. I just want to see what the predictions are on this one, just because I'm not really sure. Can't find it. Okay, that's nobody. I can't find a prediction for this game, or like not a prediction, but like odds. All right. My heart says Steelers, my head says Ravens. Like, Ravens are the better team, but part of me thinks the Steelers could win this one. I'm gonna go Steelers, just because I'm not super confident in that, but I'll go Steelers. Jets versus Broncos. Broncos did get the win over the Bears last week, but the Jets looked pretty solid too. Who did they play again? They were playing the Chiefs, and they actually kept that game shockingly close. I think the Chiefs won by like less than a touchdown. And the Broncos are beating up on the Bears, so it's kind Wilson has looked a lot better so far this season compared to last year. I want to say Jets. I want to say, again, not super confident in that, but I want to say Jets. Alright, interconference games. Giants versus Dolphins. That Giants offensive line is perhaps the worst offensive line I've ever seen in the NFL. Truly terrible. Seahawks, we played them last week. I think Jones got sacked like 11 times. He had like less than a second in the pocket before the line broke down. I think the Dolphins are gonna, they lost last week. I think they bounce back here. They should get a pretty easy win over the Giants. Texans versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm all aboard the Texans hype train right now. Stroud boys, stand back and stand by. That's what I've seen that around. The Stroud boys. CJ Stroud is the real deal. I'm riding his hype train right now. He looks like the best QB in this draft. And yeah. I'm all on the Texans until they lose. I'm gonna keep picking them until they prove me wrong, but they are my surprise team of this season, and I love what the Texans are showing me right now. Saints versus Patriots. Now, Christian Gonzalez went down with a shoulder injury last week. I don't know how long he's expected to be out, but I imagine he will not be playing this game. Now the Saints offense has looked completely out of sorts. They have chemistry issues on offense. Christian Gonzalez being out because he's looked so good. One of the best defensive rookies in this draft. That might help the Saints get things going a little bit. The Saints defense is still really good. The Patriots, didn't Mac Jones get hurt last week too? Hold on. I thought Mac Jones got injured. Not like a major injury, but I have to check that. Hold on. Mac Jones injury. Lost to Dallas Cowboys. The largest loss of Belichick's career. They also lost Matthew Judon as well. So it doesn't look like Mac Jones was hurt, but he was benched. Yeah, okay, I'll take the Saints there. I'll take the Saints there. Patriots have too many question marks for me at the moment, and those are two really big injuries for them. Bengals at Cardinals. Now the Cardinals haven't been great. They've been better than I expected. But I said last week, until they decide to sit Joe Burrow and let him rehab that injury, the Bengals are going to keep losing because he cannot throw deep. And other teams know he's not going to leave the pocket. Like, they're just rushing forward against him. They're collapsing the pocket because they know with this calf injury, he can't scramble, he can't plant his foot, he can't throw deep. And he's a liability to his team right now. Seems like there might be some locker room issues. Jamar Chase calling people out. I think the Cardinals get an upset victory here. I really do. That's probably an upset pick. I'm not sure what the line is on that one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Cardinals are +3. Yeah, Bengals are a 3-point favorite, but I think they could pull out an upset win here. Chiefs versus Vikings. This is a tough one because Vikings looked better last week. They're 1-3 now. They're kind of in survival mode at the moment. They need to get things going. The Chiefs last week against the Jets, there were some things there that concerned me. That game should not have been as close as it was. The Chiefs' offense looked rattled at times. Mahomes looked rattled at times. But the Jets' Patriots have a far better defense than the Vikings do, so the Vikings are perhaps less likely to rattle Mahomes, who threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't remember a 2-interception game from Mahomes. Before that, I think this one will be close. I think the Vikings could potentially get the win here, but I'm going to hedge my bets and pick the Chiefs to win that one. Also, that's the safe bet, I think. But I could see the Vikings getting an upset victory here if the Chiefs' shakiness continues. Packers versus Raiders. Raiders, they're in a weird spot right now. Their first overall pick, I can't remember his name right now. I want to say Najee Harris. Looks like he's on a path to be a bust. Obviously too early to tell, but he hasn't looked great so far. The Packers have been exceeding expectations. Also, I could see the Packers getting the victory right there. So I'll take the Packers. Alright, now we come to the NFC. Bears, Commanders. And the Bears did look better than I expected them to against the Broncos. Justin Fields put up, I think, over 300 yards of passing. He had 3 touchdowns. He looked shockingly good, and then kind of a heartbreaking loss there. I guess we'll see how they bounce back from that. If they can focus on the positive, keep that moving forward, I could see them getting the victory here. But I think it's more likely the Commanders get it. The Washington Commies. Panthers versus Lions. Lions are just rolling right now. Panthers are 0-4. I think the Lions are a pretty easy pick at the moment. Their defense is just immense, and I think that defensive pressure against a rookie quarterback who has already been struggling, who already does not have a great offensive line, I think it might be too much to overcome. Eagles versus Rams. The Rams have exceeded my expectations. Nakua Nasua, I'm not sure, I apologize. He has looked amazing. They've exceeded my expectations for them. And even though I have some question marks around the Eagles' offense, they do just keep winning. Even when I feel like they look a little bit shaky, they're still getting wins. And I think this could be a close game, but I do expect the Eagles to pull this one out and end up with the win. Our first week with teams on bye: Browns, Chargers, Bucks, Seahawks. Finally, Cowboys versus Niners. Niners are obviously the favorite here, but just like when I picked the Bills against the Dolphins, even though I think the Niners are the first or second best team in the league at the moment, I do not believe they're going to end the season undefeated. I think they'll have 1 or 2 losses when it's all said and done. And obviously one of those, or maybe both of those, could come towards the end of the season when they're resting guys for the playoffs. But I might take the upset pick here and pick the Cowboys. Just because, like I said, well, I like to pick upsets anyway, just for the excitement factor of everything. But I think, they'll end with 1 to 3 losses. No team, no matter how good they are this season, will go undefeated, in my opinion. Now, it's very possible they lose against like a totally random team and not a good opponent, like maybe a random loss to the Cardinals or something. But I'm gonna pick that one there. So my predictions are this week in the AFC. I have the Jaguars beating the Bills. I have the Titans beating the Colts. The Steelers upsetting the Ravens, and the Jets beating the Broncos. In our interconference game, I have the Dolphins beating the Giants, the Texans beating the Falcons, Saints beating the Patriots, the Cardinals upsetting the Bengals, the Chiefs beating the Vikings, and the Packers beating the Raiders. predictions for Week 5 of the 2023 NFL season. Let me know what you guys think about these predictions in the comments down below. Tomorrow we will have the Google Earth exploration video going up. I have 4 viewer suggestions for that video, so it's going to be pretty cool to look at. Anyway, if you did like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.